Anatomy and physiology of the stomach. The content covered in this video is introduction of the stomach, location in our body, shape, capacity of the stomach, organ associated with the stomach, what is stomach bed, parts of the stomach, curvatures, blood supply, arterial supply and venous drainage, lymphatic drainage, nerve supply, histology of the stomach, glands of the stomach and physiology of the stomach. Now, introduction. Stomach is the hollow muscular organ of the digestive system. Stomach is the most dilated part of the alimentary tract. It extends from the cardiac end to the pyloric end. At its upper end continuous with the esophagus and at the lower end it is continuous with the duodenum. In this diagram you can see the upper end is continuous with the esophagus and the lower end is continuous with the duodenum. Now, position in our body. The stomach occupies parts of the epigastric, umbilical and left hypochondriac regions. You can also see in this diagram. Now, shape of the stomach. The stomach is J-shaped. The upper part is broader than the lower part. Capacity of the stomach. A newborn infant's stomach can hold up to 30 ml of milk. In adults, stomach is capable of considerable expansion. When empty, it is slightly larger than the largest intestine, but it cannot hold up to 2 to 3 liters of food. Now, organ associated with the stomach. Relations of anterior surface of the stomach. Left lobe of liver, diaphragm and anterior abdominal wall. Relation of posterior surface of the stomach. The stomach bed. Structures related to posterior surface of the stomach from the stomach bed. They are anterior surface of the pancreas, transverse mesocolon, left suprarenal gland, splenic artery and gastric surface of spleen. You can also see in this picture stomach bed is formed by all these structures. Now, parts of the stomach. For description purpose, stomach can be divided into cardiac part, fundus, body of the stomach or corpus and pyloric region. Here, cardiac part of the stomach, fundus of the stomach, body of the stomach and the last one is pyloric part of the stomach. Now, first one is cardiac part. The cardiac part lies around the cardiac orifice which receives the opening of the abdominal part of the esophagus. You can see in this diagram cardiac part receives the opening of the esophagus. Now, second part is fundus. The fundus of the stomach is the dilated portion to the left and superior cardiac orifice. This is the most superior part of the stomach. In this diagram, you can see fundus is the most superior part of the stomach. It is usually contain a bubble of gas which can be seen in X-rays. Now, body of the stomach or corpus. The body of the stomach is the major portion of the stomach. You can see in this diagram the body of the stomach is the major portion. It lies between the fundus and pyloric antrum. Now, pyloric region. The pyloric region has two parts. First one is pyloric antrum and second one is pyloric canal. You can see here is pyloric antrum and here pyloric canal. Now, first one is pyloric antrum. The body of the stomach ends in antrum. The junction between body and antrum is marked by an angular notch called incisura angularis. In this diagram, you can see here is incisura angularis. Now, pyloric canal. Antrum is continuous as the narrow canal which is called pyloric canal or pyloric end. Pyloric canal opens into first part of the small intestine called duodenum. The opening of pyloric canal is guarded by a sphincter called pyloric sphincter. You can see in this diagram, here is the pyloric sphincter. Now curvatures of the stomach. The stomach has two curvatures, lesser curvature in right side of the stomach and greater curvature left side of the stomach. First is lesser curvature. It gives attachment to a double fold of peritoneum. You can see in this diagram, here is the lesser curvature. Lesser curvature stretches toward the liver. Now greater curvature. It gives attachment to the peritoneal folds from above and downwards. Gastrosphenic, gastrosplenic and greater omentum. In this diagram, you can see the greater curvature gives attachment to these three structures. Now blood supply of the stomach. First one is arterial supply. The stomach has a rich blood supply from the branches of celiac trunk. The left gastric artery, the right gastric artery, the left gastroepiploic artery, the right gastroepiploic artery, the short gastric arteries. In this diagram, you can see the stomach is supplied by the branches of celiac trunk. Now second is venous drainage. Right and left gastric vein drain into portal vein. Short gastric vein and left gastroepiploic vein drain into the splenic vein. Right gastroepiploic vein drains into the superior mesenteric vein. Now lymphatic drainage. The stomach is divided into 4 zones and the lymphatic drainage different according to the zone. Here stomach is divided into 4 zones. The A zone is drained by superior gastric nodes, B zone is drained by hepatic nodes, C zone is drained by splenic node, and the D zone is drained by subpyloric nodes. And these all 4 zones drained into celiac nodes. Nerve supply of the stomach. Nerve supply to the stomach is by autonomic nervous system. Parasympathetic fibers come from the vagus nerve and sympathetic fibers arise from the celiac plexus. Now parasympathetic stimulation increases the motility of the stomach and increases the secretion of gastric juice. Sympathetic nerves are vasomotor and motor to pyloric sphincter and the main pathway for pain impulses from the stomach. Histology of the stomach. The histology of the stomach is similar to the general histological structure of gastrointestinal tract. First layer is mucosa. The mucosa layer is also divided into 3 layers. First is epithelium. The epithelium layer is very thick and lined by simple columnar epithelium. Second layer is lamina propria. Beneath the epithelium is connective tissue layer which contains many gastric glands. These glands open by ducts into mucosa and releasing their secretion into the lumen of the stomach. In this diagram, we have given the general histological structure of the stomach or internal structure. The first layer is epithelium lining, second layer is lamina propria, and here is gastric glands. Now the gastric glands. The gastric glands are long and numerous in the fundus and body. They are lined by different types of cells. Here, different types of cells and their secretions. The chief cell secretes pepsinogen, lipase, and renin. Parietal or oxygenetic cells secrete HCl, intrinsic factor, or castor. Mucosal cells secrete mucus. Endocrine cells or APUD cells means amine precursor uptake and decarboxylation. They secrete hormones like gastrin, somatostatin, and VIP means vasoactive intestinal polypeptide. The enterochromaffin cells secrete histamine and serotonin. Now, the third layer of mucosal layer is muscularis mucosa. The muscularis mucosa is consists of inner circular and outer longitudinal layer of smooth muscle. Second one is submucosa. The submucosa, it has a plexus of autonomic nerves called Meissner's plexus. The third layer is muscularis externa. It has a plexus of autonomic nerves called myenteric plexus. And the fourth layer is serosa or adventitia. It is the outermost layer. These all layers you can see in this diagram. Physiology of the stomach. The stomach has many functions, but here we discuss some important functions of the stomach. First, it acts as a reservoir of food. Second, converts food into chyme. Third, it destroys microorganisms and prevent food. Fourth, maintain acidic pH in the stomach. Fifth, digestion of protein. Sixth, absorption of vitamin B12. 7. Excrete toxic alkaloids and metals. So these are the functions of the stomach.